Alright, I wasn't going to do this, but I suppose I don't have much choice. These are the only two pods off a plant that I've grown from seeds that I took out of a Carolina Reaper with a long tail last year. Now it's obviously chocolate and doesn't really have much of a tail. I was just de-seeding these thinking maybe I'd get away without actually having to try it. But I just ate a little bit and, well, it's absolutely screaming hot. So, I've already taken most of the seeds out of this one, but there are a lot of oil deposits. All those shiny bits you see, especially over this side where all that placenta is. There we go. That's all oil. It's a very, very oily pepper, and that really worries me. So that's the first small pod that came off. I was kind of trying to do a bit of a tail maybe, but now this is the second pod. And when I opened this one up, it actually had probably 2 or 3 drops of oil. I'll put some photographs up that I took. It actually had 2 or 3 drops of oil in the bottom of each side of the pepper. And when I say drop, probably more than drops. It was just stupid. I don't know. Can you see at the bottom? Anyway, there's some liquid in the bottom, down where my finger is. I don't know if you can see that, perhaps not. But those are that's small drops of oil that actually came out of the pepper. So at least they're not in there and I don't have to eat those. Put it in a margarita later perhaps. So the aroma on these, and to an extent the look as well, is very douglah-like. In terms of, is there a Reaper type smell? There is a little bit, but the main smell is very like a 7-pot douglah. So I got the pods for this particular one from Vincent Kelly, and it was a really perfect Reaper phenotype. So I'm not sure what Vincent was growing next to his Reapers. The smell is very like a douglah, as I say. It's not, it's definitely not a brown or chocolate boot jalokia. There are other chocolate pods that it could be, Brown Morugas, that kind of thing, but it does smell like a douglah. So who knows what it will be, but I'm certainly going to keep the seeds and grow it out again and see if we can't get a Reaper that's brown but with a tail on it next year. We shall see. There aren't that many seeds, maybe only about 30 seeds between the two pods. So looks like I'll be growing 30 plants. Okay, so this is the Reaper Cross. Hi, Nigel Carter here, and you just saw in the introduction, I guess one of the disadvantages of being me is that if you grow something that looks stupidly, ridiculously hot, then you've got to eat it come what may. So yesterday I tried the yellow Moruga cross, and it absolutely just blew me out of the water and completely destroyed me. This is a Reaper cross, and well, it does smell like a douglah, so Reaper cross with a douglah one might expect to be very, very hot. So I really don't want to do this, but I guess I haven't got much choice, have I? Alright, here's a pod. It's already been de-seeded, but everything's still intact inside. see from that. And it also has, this was the side facing the morning sun, and it's gone a reddish colour, which again is very much like you get with a douglah. Douglahs do that. So it's a Carolina Reaper cross, possibly with a douglah, and I'm sure it's going to absolutely destroy me. Cheers. So it's very sweet. Wow, very, very sweet. And it tastes like a douglah. A little bit of bitterness, but not much. A bit more bitterness. The sweetness is still hanging around. It's kind of countering that. It's a little bit floral, but not too much. You can taste the Reaper in there. It really tempers the douglah. It makes the pod a lot less. Takes the nasty parts out of douglah, so some of the bitterness and soapiness are not there. There's a little bit of bitterness, but you get that with Reapers too. And the heat's just starting to come on. It looks like it's a late bloomer. It's hot already, very hot, but it's nothing outlandish yet. But the heat is definitely on the way up. It's climbing very slowly, but it's climbing. Right now it's all tongue burn. I can't taste anything anymore. My eyes are smarting. So I've got very hot tears. It's keeping my eyes open a little difficult actually. And the heat is still on the rise. And it's very, very hot. A little bit in the back of the throat now. It's sort of in the back of the throat, but going down a little bit. It's giving that Reaper back of the throat burn, where it sort of creeps down your throat after you've eaten it, making me sweat like crazy. And it's still going up. Oh, my eyes are just absolutely, my eyes are frying. It really hurts to open my eyes. And the heat is still going up. It's left, a lot of it's left my tongue, and now it's in the back of the throat, just like a Reaper burn. So at the back and then down a bit. The Reaper burn tends to creep down your throat, as I said, and this is definitely doing that. Now it's just the front of my tongue and my throat, and the front of my tongue is dying. Oh, that is hot. It's not an aggressive burn. It's a very smooth burn. A very extreme smooth burn. But it doesn't hurt nearly so much as some others. But it's absolutely screaming hot. And it's still going up, if you can believe that. It's not as hot as the pod air yesterday. Nowhere near. Well, no, nowhere near really. It's I would say this pod is about Reaper hot for me. it's no hotter than a Reaper I've had, any Reapers that I've had lots of Reapers. And I think what saves it for me is the fact that it's not an aggressive burn. It's extremely hot, but the pain levels are quite low. But I've definitely got the very typical sort of in the back of the throat, just above the Adam's apple here, which is very typical of the Reaper. It's the only pepper that's ever given me a throat burn down that low. I'm just starting to get the flavour back, so the heat's just about peaked. And the flavour's coming back, and the flavour's all douglah. Douglah-like. Anyway, it's, you know, the sort of faint bit of leather and tobacco, and there's actually a little bit of sweetness to the flavour, which is nice. So, as I say, it's definitely a Reaper cross. Whatever it's crossed with was brown. If it is a douglah, then the combination of the two takes away some of the more unpleasant aspects of the douglah and replaces them with some of the more pleasant aspects of the Reaper. That would be my guess on the cross. We'll never know, I suppose, but that would be my guess. Doesn't quite have the same sort of burn as like a Brown Moruga, so it's probably more likely to be a douglah. Although, well, saying that, the Brown Moruga burn for me is very, very hot, but lacking in pain. So I wonder if that means it is actually a very similar burn to this, about similar levels too. Oh, that's an interesting thought. The things that pop into your mind when you're getting your mouth absolutely fried. So I do have an endorphin rush going. I'm a little bit shaky, but nothing special. And that's because I think the more painful the pods are, the higher the endorphin levels. And this one is very, very hot, but not that painful. Which is probably the Brown Moruga's the prime example of that type. Whereas yesterday's Yellow Moruga cross was horrible, horribly painful, ridiculous. Oh, looks like Navarra thinks that as well. She sure as hell doesn't want any. She always went and sat over there when I was eating this. Okay, so it's definitely on the way down. It's sort of fallen off the cliff and tanked fairly quickly. So I'll leave it there. I like that one. And the dogs just want to get out. I think they don't like the fume. So this is Nigel Carter and Blue and Navarra screaming and shouting goodbye. So we'll see you later. Bye.